You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley. This week, we hit the ground, hit the hardwood, and hit the mascot. Griffon basketball gets going this week, while Griffon football finds itself with its back against the wall. So bust out your best rally moves and prepare for takeoff. GSI starts right now. Hello and welcome. Basketball season is upon us, but it's the Griffon football team that must rebound, Brett Easley.
It is time to rebound. Let's do it. The Griffons' hopes of repeating as MIAA champions took a serious hit last Saturday.
Ranked fourth in the nation 2 weeks ago, Western has fallen all the way to number 22 and sits at 7-2 in the midst of its first two-game losing streak in 6 years. A heartbreaking defeat at the hands of Emporia State. Another week, another national showdown in St. Joe. 12th-ranked Missouri Western coming off its first loss of the season a week ago, trying to bounce back against number 14 Emporia State, but the Griffons dug themselves a huge early hole. Pick it up, scoreless second quarter. The explosive Hornets striking first. Brent Wilson under pressure, scrambles, and hits Kavosky Irvin all alone in the end zone. Emporia up 7-0. They tack on another TD a few minutes later. Then Western would fumble the ensuing kickoff. Emporia turns that to 6 more. Dozie Iwagwu dives into the end zone. Emporia scores 21 straight points in 6 minutes. Griffs down 21-zip before they finally get things going. Still second quarter, Travis Partridge quick fire to Alec Furbett for the touchdown. They're on the board. Just before the half, John Schmiemeyer trying for a 47-yard field goal against the wind. Who needs Greg Zerline? That's money. Griffs go to half with the momentum, down 21-10. They get the ball to start the third and waste no time going downfield. Partridge airs it out to Stephon Weaver. 49-yard hookup. Weaver 10 catches for 163 yards on the day. Couple plays later, Dalton Kryza bulls his way into the end zone. It's now a 21-17 game. Griffs have all the momentum and continuing to use it. Fourth quarter, same score. Partridge on 3rd and 27 fires a strike over the middle to Weaver. A 30-yard touchdown. Griffs score 24 unanswered. Take their first lead of the game. It's 24-21. But Emporia with an immediate answer. A 15-play, 75-yard drive capped by Wilson to Irvin. Emporia reclaims the lead. Griff's trying to answer again. Partridge trying to make something happen. Instead, he's picked off. His third interception of the day. That leads to this. Wilson to Ray Davis. Hornets take a 35-24 lead with 4:20 remaining in the game. But the Griffs battling back again. Partridge going to work with his feet this time. The senior quarterback rushed for 130 yards on 25 carries. This gets the Griffs in the red zone. Couple plays later, he completes the drive with a 2-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion, no good. Griffs down 35-30 with just under 3 minutes to play. Emporia can try to run out the clock. Instead, they pass on second down. Wilson is hit. Ball is tipped into the hands of Mike Jordan. He's hit and fumbles, but Western recovers and the Griffons have new life. Another look at this. Wilson was just lit up by Yami Ali on this pass play. The Griffons have the ball with a chance to win it. 16 seconds to play. They're on the 6-yard line. Partridge looking for Reggie Jordan for the win, but instead he's picked off in the end zone. Miscommunication on the route, and that's how this one is going to end. Emporia State comes to St. Joe and hands the Griffons their second straight loss, 35-30 the final. Emporia improves to 8-0 on the season. Western falls to 7-2. They commit 6 turnovers in this game, a wild game with an even wilder finish, and a heartbreaking loss for the black and gold.
So we had 6 turnovers, and there it is. They threw a football to us. They shouldn't have, and we intercepted it. And I thought for sure we're going to win the football game. The plan was to go 2 fades in a row to Reggie.
It was a fade. He jumped outside. I think Reg thought I was going to throw it inside. And, it was just miscommunication. I'll put that one on me. We dug ourselves a hole, but we had a lead. We had a lead and just didn't finish it.
I felt like we were close. Like, once we were to get the big play, I felt like the momentum would have totally switched in our favor, but it's just like we never could get that one big play that we needed to get things going.
Joining us now in the flesh, head coach Jerry Partridge. We'll try not to relive this game too much because I know it was a heartbreaker, but take us through that last play to Reggie Jordan.
Well, it's a play we ran several times successfully, almost the exact same situation as what we beat Central Missouri with, and basically, If it's outside leverage, Reggie's going to post up. We're going to throw it to him. If he's inside, we're going to try to throw over the back shoulder thing. And I don't know, there's just confusion on where the guy was lined up. I know that the statement got made to him in the huddle, hey, make sure you get to the end zone. The ball was thrown their goal line, so I don't know. It's just a miscommunication kind of thing. But it's a play we've repped over and over again, and to have it at that moment was very difficult to deal with.
And that's the play everybody's going to remember, but you said it after the game. I think the one thing you point back to is the opportunities that we had in the first quarter, great field position, and just couldn't capitalize on it.
Didn't run the ball as effectively as we hoped. Travis was our leading rusher with 130 yards, and a lot of it was quarterback scramble stuff. Emporia really packed the box in there. I think we hurt them with some play action stuff, but we just never could get Roth totally free. They did a lot better job of stopping the run this year. And so every time we got in early on, we got in field goal position there early, we just couldn't push it, so we had a quick kick. The next one, we get to 1st and 10 there, and we try to throw a pass, and they were in Tampa 2 and intercepted the ball on the seam. Made Travis a little hesitant throwing that pass the rest of the day, which some of that was some of the scramble stuff. It's very difficult. We had 6 turnovers. That's we outgained them almost 200 yards. The turnovers were the name of the game. However, the guy was responsible for a lot of the turnovers. Had 428 total yards of offense, so it's a weird conundrum.
Career high in turnovers, and I think a career high in total offense, and that does kind of sum up the day.
It's just a weird day, and I don't want to say another team's lucky, but we missed our opportunity. We got outplayed by Pitt, and I think that
this one you'd like to have back.
Emporia won the game.
Talk about, you made this analogy a little bit at the Griffon luncheon, and similar to basketball, the team that's down 20 and you battle all the way back, you get back, you finally get over the hump, and then you exuberate all that energy to come back, and then it's kind of like you let your guard down, and then all of a sudden you find yourself down again. Did that kind of happen late in the early fourth quarter?
I think you credit Emporia State for what they did at the start. I mean, they did enough. And again, you go back to some of those interceptions, they were good plays. I mean, there were some really good interceptions where kids made nice plays on the ball. Certainly the first 3 were. They got the lead, turnover fueled a little bit, but they got the lead. And then to me, 21-0, I thought our resiliency and our character were really strong. To come all the way back to get 24-21 lead, there is a little of that analogy to basketball. When you have that huge comeback, you feel like, okay, now we got it. And I was really disappointed how defensively, we played really good defense throughout the football game for most of it. And then that series, when you're up 24-21, just a very poor defensive series. They go up. Travis probably forces one the next series, and they go up by big, and then we answer. Just a great drive. And then I'm sure if we'd have scored, Emporia would love to have that pass back on 2nd and 1. We get the interception and have a chance to win it. Don't do it.
Talk about rebounding now. There's some goals you set for the beginning of the year that probably aren't attainable right now. The conference championship to repeat, that's, you got 2 undefeated teams that are going to play next week. So probably the conference champion at the very least could have 1 loss. And now the playoffs are still in reach. You're going to have some help. It looks like maybe. That's kind of up in the air. But how do you rebound, and do you focus on any of that, or is it just?
Well, there's a new conference champion for sure. Like you said, whoever wins the Emporia Northwest game will have 0 losses going into week 11. So it's next to impossible to get that. No, it is impossible to get that, honestly. But I think playoffs are still a chance. I don't think we think about that. We think about beating Washburn. To me, we're in the playoffs right now. If we can beat Washburn Saturday, we'd be going to week 11 with scenarios that you can get in. Certainly if Emporia were to lose out and we were to beat Washburn, then we'd all sit there with 2 losses, and it'd be like A beat B, B beat C, C beat A. And then it'd come down to strength of schedule, which we would win out, and we'd probably be that 3rd MIAA choice. But it involves having to beat Washburn first. There are scenarios. It would probably need some help a little bit with maybe Northern Sun teams to get beat, but I'm not on the committee, so I have no idea what the strength of schedule numbers are. Our strength of schedule will be very, very high, though, when the season's over.
Well, as you said, beat Washburn, and it starts by going to Topeka this Saturday. We'll talk about the Ichabods when we come back.
Now David Bass is going to sling him to the ground, his 2nd sack in this football game.
Spinal sport treatment with Fred, his methods are extremely different from anybody I've ever been with, because he takes your injury and breaks it down to a T. I came here right after I had my bone spur surgery for my left foot. He broke my body down, so he kind of went in and took it step by step from my hips down to my knees, to my calves, to my ankles, and fixed everything. I recommend Spinal Sport because of Fred. He has a passion for his athletes and getting people back to where they need to be.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna put the beat.
All right, beatboxing with Bo on the biggest losing streak of Bo's illustrious career. Bo, I hate to say it, but you're 0 for your last 3, and that's not good. Okay, fair enough. Boy, that's intimidating. Bo, you're wearing the belt. It's actually supposed to be when you get the thing right each week, you win the title, but for 3 weeks, you actually haven't been the champion, so we might need that belt back.
You try to get this belt.
Okay, we'll buy another one. Bo, I'm going to need a prediction this week, preferably a correct one. Griffins are at Washburn. Washburn's ranked 15th in the nation. The Griffins are number 22. They've lost 2 in a row for the first time in 5 years. What's it going to be this week?
Western rolls 34-13. The Bods can't keep up.
Well, 34-13, that's actually a lot more modest than your previous picks. I think we've all been forced to eat a little bit of humble pie. What does this come down to?
Total pain.
Bo kind of, he's in a slump. He's actually 0 for his last 3.
He is.
Picked Southern to win, so we might
That's
need
his first 3-game losing streak.
Maybe time to cancel the show.
we can.
He might be losing viewers. I don't know.
Yeah, we've only got 2 more weeks left, so we'll reassess that after.
He needs to reassess his whole MO.
Fair enough. Listen to that, Bo.
Sure, he'll talk to his agent after this.
Well, for the 3rd straight week, you face a nationally ranked team, Washburn 8-1, after suffering its first loss of the season last week to a undefeated Northwest Missouri team. Talk about the Ichabods. They're a little bit banged up too right now.
Well, I'm not really aware of that as much, but I'm just kind of trying to watch at this point X-nose schemes. They're big. I mean, they're very large on their offensive line. The right guard, right tackle are very, very big humans. They're big in the backfield. They play a 6'3", 245-pound tailback kid that's kind of a battering ram. Ironically, though, that would lead to think that they're way up there in rushing, but they're like 10th in the league in rushing, and they're throwing for 270 or 280. So it's probably just random on what film games you're watching. They're well coached. They've been beating people by large margins most of the year, except for 2 games, I think. And I realize it's very difficult to win in Topeka, and again, we're going to have to find a way to feel better about ourselves after a 2-game losing streak against 2 quality opponents to get back on the horse and play again.
With that,
go for it.
Well, Coach P, one of your favorite segments, I know, and as each show continues to go on, the questions just keep getting better and better. This is Easley's Tantalizing Trio, and this week we're featuring all-you-can-eat shrimp, and how much you like shrimp. So
I never get the food analogies, but
well, again, it's the Tantalizing Trio. You go into a restaurant.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is. It's a restaurant. It seems like we're featuring soup, salad, and yeah.
This is Groundhog Day.
I think you're going to ask me that question. I just don't get the whatever.
And then you respond with the same answer too. So it's like,
I know. Well, because that's what it is. Coach P.
I finally listened to your answer of it, so I'm okay now. I'll quit asking.
You're at peace with it. 3 questions. He's from the sports world this week. The NBA opened last week. Do you care?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. Very simple.
You have a rooting interest there?
Not really. I mean, I was a Kansas City Kings
fan?
long back. I was, yeah.
Okay.
I wish there was some way we could get a team again.
Let's switch sports and talk about other rule changes. Obviously, college basketball, we're going to see some rule changes this year. Cannot put your hand on the defender on the perimeter. You like that rule?
No. It's stupid.
He's able to say that and comment on that because he doesn't coach the basketball teams here at Missouri Western. So, going to be some long games this year in the Fieldhouse, it looks like. And finally, and I cannot believe we haven't talked about this before now, obviously 3 Royals won Gold Gloves last week. To piggyback off that, the big question, re-sign Irvin Santana or not? You're dating Moore. You've got the checkbook. What are you doing?
We re-signed him only at the right price because I think he's going to be a 500 pitcher with a 4-something ERA next year.
Okay, so Jerry Partridge is okay with them moving on, it sounds like.
Chiefs
that's what it comes to.
Chiefs are 9-0. You amended a couple weeks ago. First you said 9-7, then you said 10-6. Would you like to amend?
11-5.
11-5 now. Keeps chasing that one win. Okay.
I'll tell you what, Missouri Western at Washburn on Saturday.
They need to get 8-2.
Yeah, 8-2 would be good. Number 22 in the nation now against number 15 in the nation now. This program has not lost 2 games in a row since 2007, I believe. That tells you
2008.
2008. Excuse me. He corrected me. I was trying to make you look.
4 in a row.
4 in a row. Okay, well, let's not lose 3 in a row. That would not be good. That tells you where the program is, where they're that strong, where they haven't lost 2 in a row in a long time, so half a decade or so. Yep. Jerry Partridge, good luck on Saturday. We'll be right back.
Sometimes I wonder if Elvis had hip pain. And if he did, I know I could have fixed it. And if I did, he'd still be alive today.
We're a spine and sport, and unfortunately I tore my ACL. It's unique in the way that they don't just fix the problem that you have, they fix the problem that caused the problem that you have. Fred's very knowledgeable about the entire injury and all the causes and things you can do right now to prevent it from happening in the future. The SwimX is a very unique piece of equipment, and this is the only place in St. Joe that has one, and so that was specifically why I sought Spine and Sport out. And in there you can do pretty much everything you can't do on land because you don't have your full body weight. So you're allowed to jump, you're allowed to run, you're allowed to do presses and kick your legs and do things to strengthen all your muscles that you wouldn't normally be able to do on land with all your body weight. I would recommend Spine and Sport to anybody from your average athlete to your professional athlete to someone who's just been injured in even a car wreck and needs to get healthy.
And we're here to make a statement. So it's as simple as that.
We're really special and we have a lot of good people.
You never know who's going to get the kill Saturday night.
Beginning of the season that our season would be determined by how we played on the road. We battled well enough on the road to put ourselves in a good position to come home and be successful and to have our home stretch determine our season.
The season has just gone by so fast, and I think for the next coming up weeks, I think there can be a lot of damage that's done.
So familiar with this gym, we're gonna own it. I'm excited.
We're just ready to finish strong, reach our goals, get to the tournament, and go from there.
Welcome back. Griffon Volleyball tries to make it 9 of 12 this Friday night in the Fieldhouse against number 5 Central Missouri.
Meanwhile, basketball season begins. Griffon Hoops tips off the 2013-2014 campaign this weekend. The Griffon women open shop November 9th at home against Chadron State College. Coach Rob Emerson hoping size matters this year. 4 players over 6 foot on this year's squad. 17 players total on the roster. The Griffons went 16-12 last season in Emerson's first year as Griffon head coach.
First-year men's coach Brett Weiberg also makes his debut Saturday. Griffon's on the road to South Dakota to take on Augustana College. Only 5 players returned from last season, so this group will be a work in progress in year 1 of the Weiberg era. The Oklahoma native says guard play and defense will be his team's strength. Both new-look squads have already had a dress rehearsal of sorts in front of the home fans.
And the Griffons made their debut in front of the home fans last week for the 10th annual tip-off party.
We're at the 2013-2014 10th annual Griffon Tip-Off basketball event. Exciting night. Got a lot of people over here. A lot of free pizza, a lot of free T-shirts. This is a fun event. It's good for our students, good for our players. Kind of a time for everybody to get to know each other. And
we're out here to have fun, generate a little bit of excitement. Just kind of goes to show you the support we have here at Missouri West.
We want them to see our faces first of all, before anything, and just have them come out and support after that,
It was really exciting. I actually was going to do a dance, but I got a little nervous. So I just ran out like, hi. But it's really fun to see so many supportive students here.
Yeah, we got some things going on. We're going to have a shooting contest, some three-point contest, pitting the women versus the men. We'll find out who can shoot it a little bit better.
This is guy Rich, I'm still in a hooligan clique. We rapping by flow, I was moving the bridge. Talk about shooting out, now we're doing the bridge.
The girls are better than the boys.
The X's is out here for a reason. Hey, can you get Ryan? Get the X's. The X's is out here for a reason. I'm shooting on the X's and they shooting in one spot.
I mean, we should stay in one spot. I mean, we can go wherever, but he lost. He's a sore loser. It's cool.
And I'm here with 2012-2013 slam dunk champion Calvin Balkew. Your thoughts on defending your title against your teammates tonight? Looks like you're gonna have a challenge.
See, last year it was kind of easy, but I ain't gonna play with them today.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're serious right now, and I really hope your dunking is a lot better than your horse game.
Well, actually, I'm up.
It doesn't matter. I'm 33 years old and not an athlete. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out,
I'm here with Calvin Balkew.
make you the two-time back-to-back champion for our dunk contest at the tip-off party. Can I ask you an honest question? Do you think that I'm the only one that noticed you won this dunk contest with the same dunk you won last year's dunk contest with?
Okay, Jordan did it.
I don't care.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
St. Joe's really produced quite a few professional athletes in the last few years. One thing they all have in common is they've all walked through our doors here at Spine and Sport.
I've done stuff that I've never done at any other physical therapy place, and I've been to a lot of physical therapists.
I recommend Spine and Sport because of Fred. He has a passion for his athletes.
I would recommend Spine and Sport to anybody from your average athlete to your professional athlete.
Train like the pros at Spine and Sport. Can you perform better? Get your athletic profile tested to find out. At Spine and Sport, we have a phrase, train like the pros. Professional athletes get their athletic profiles done every year to find out their injury potential. We want to help you prevent injuries through our athletic profile testing. Injury prevention is also a good sports performance program though. So our goal is to make you perform better on the field or on the court. How do we do this? We start with research-proven tests, the functional movement screen and the Y-balance test. These are two tests that identify the weak link in your movement patterns. The functional movement screen takes 7 functional movement patterns and scores them on a scale of 3 for a total score of 21. Nobody gets a 21. Remember, our goal is to identify the weak link. Research shows us that scores of 14 or less are at magnitude of risk for injury. So we want to find out your score so that we can prescribe corrective exercises to prevent those injuries. Our second injury prevention test is called the Y-balance test. This is a 3-dimensional stability test that looks at the control of your ankle, knee, hip, and core as you move in 3 dimensions. Again, a highly researched test that shows us your injury risk for ankle sprains and ACL injuries. Using these two tests, the functional movement screen and the Y-balance test, we plug that into a computer program called Move to Perform. This program gives us graphs and charts that gives the athlete and the coach valuable information to help prevent injuries. Know your risk, the first step in injury prevention. Additional testing includes our dynamic testing protocol. These tests look at sport-specific activities, vertical jump, broad jump, triple hop. These tests give us an idea of the power that an athlete can deliver. Furthermore, we have a testing that goes to an advanced level. This advanced level testing looks at Postural Restoration Institute methodology. We want to look at the body's ability to move in 3 dimensions in a symmetrical functional pattern. If you want to prevent injuries, if you want to perform better, you need to train like the pros, you need your athletic profile tested. Give us a call or check us out on the web, ssptaquatics.com.
Oh, welcome back. Looks like we're going to wrap things up without incident.
No goofy shenanigans this week.
Well, on cue.
Okay.
What the heck is wrong with you, man? Why are you taped up?
What's the story with that?
What happened to your eye?
Thought you were perfectly fine on Saturday.
Why are you on a crutch?
Oh,
that's
I
right.
forgot about that.
Timmy fell in the well. Yeah, that's right. Max got taken out Saturday on the sideline.
You need your grape juice?
By Raphael Spencer. You know, I don't understand.
Point
why
that bony finger at me, pal.
Well, I don't understand why you're hurting. You looked fine.
You were fine. Are you soft?
You mad because we lost?
What a wimp. Oh, easy there, boss.
Okay, that's.
Yeah. Oh, so much for no shenanigans.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah. Would you limp out of here, Granny? Okay.
Oh. Just make things even better.
Oh, look who just came in.
Oh, great. NCAA compliance police is
I thought
back.
we were done with him. Guess
Eric
not.
Kramer, you know, we were good last week.
Yeah.
Apparently not this week.
We've been minding our P's and Q's.
Has anybody seen Bo around?
Bo is not here this week.
I think we'd know if he was around.
Well, there's a reason for that. He's been awful his last 3 games. He's on 3 years probation now because of what he's done the last 3 weeks.
Well, good. That joker doesn't know what the heck he's talking about anyway.
Back to Max here, guys.
Yeah.
He cannot be physically harmed in any way, in any fashion anymore.
He wasn't physically
Yeah, he
assaulted.
wasn't. That was pure accident.
He was
Pure
on
accident.
the sideline.
That's kind of the chance you take.
We're not even going to allow him to do any physical activity at all. He's actually filed a lawsuit against Missouri Western.
He got plowed over by a player playing live.
He was physically harmed on the sideline, and we're facing a heavy lawsuit.
See, the guy steals. We questioned some of the substances he's on. He gets run over harmlessly.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Are you serious?
And look at him. He's faking. Look at him. He's faking.
We got to protect this guy. We're up against a multi-million-dollar lawsuit here.
He's faking.
I mean, look at the guy. He's in physical pain.
What do you call frivolous lawsuits? Is it a frivolous lawsuit? Is that what you call it?
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
You know, you lose a few games and just the wheels fall off the wagon.
Well, apparently they do, and they've clearly fallen off that wagon.
Okay, all right.
Well, with that.
Well, that's GSI for this week.
Hopefully we're not off next week.
As always,
I'm going to walk in with an eye patch on next week, folks. Go Griffs.
Clausen will hold no wind to speak of. The kick is up. It is long enough, and it is good! Greg Zuerlein from 57 yards away.
Greg Zuerlein came to me before football season last year. He just had hip surgery. He tore his labrum, which is a piece of cartilage around the hip socket. And in that surgery, they also found out he had a torn quad.
I was still having problems with my leg. And, you know, I wasn't kicking the ball as far, and, you know, I'd always have pain in my leg after kicking.
No one really found the cause of the injury. They fixed the symptom. But when he came to me, we found out that his left leg, his plant leg, was really unstable. The cause of his right hip quad tear was the fact that he wasn't balanced. So we analyzed his technique and his form, and then we went to work.
Working with Fred, he helped me correct that with some of his exercises, and going to his clinic really helped me, you know, my leg to be fresh after kicking, and you know, after working with him a few times, I could tell the pain would start to go away.
We have that training, that background. We have the facilities with the pool, with our technology to really train people how to perform at the highest levels.
I've done stuff that I've never done at any other physical therapy place, and I've been to a lot of physical therapists, so, you know, it helped me, and so I think it'd be a good place to go in the future, and I'll continue to work with him whenever I'm back in town.
1 for 58. High snap. Zuerlein's first NFL kick is
Train like the pros. He's been a great person to work with, and exemplifies what we're trying to do here.